Okay, I think we're finally live on the stream, and we are, so we can see everything going on here, which is fantastic. All right, we are live. Give me 1 second. Let me notify people that we are live. Here we go. We are finally live. Man, let me tell you, always some sort of technological issues I have with these things. I sit here and I like prepare, and I'm like, man, I am ready to go. And then as soon as I get ready to go, I'm not ready to go. But I think we got to point out something obvious, like the big obvious thing in the room right now, which is down here on my lap. We have the person who refuses to leave this chair in this spot, which is the movie spreadsheet spot, Zizou. So if you're like, oh, I want to know why your cat's name Zizou. No, because if you know, you know. You can also just Google it, but if you know, you know. So, chat, give me a quick like thumbs up or like yes, you can hear me, and it sounds amazing because we have a great setup. Not only do I look great, I think I sound great. Hopefully, it's coming across great. I can hear myself perfectly in the audio. Got great movie posters. Painted the room dark. Everything looks amazing. So once chat gives me that green light, like we are good to go. And I'm not sure if you're gonna pick up any of the audio that is the purring of this little guy, but man, does he purr a lot. So yes, go. Let's go. Okay, well, I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to start. Besides the fact that I've got this amazing suit. Should we talk about some movies? Let's talk about some movies. So here's what I want to do tonight. I'm actually going to talk about all the Oscar movies that have been nominated. I have some big ideas or big thoughts about the Oscars, so I want to talk about them. And then I want to talk about the movies that I've watched. I did watch a subscriber movie request, so I watched The Brutalist, which took me like 11 hours to watch, which is like 3.5 hours long. So we'll talk about The Brutalist. We're going to talk about a lot of other movies, and I want to have an interesting conversation. I want to have a conversation about, if you're a horror movie person, what do you do when you're in a relationship or when you're with somebody who doesn't normally watch horror movies? And then you get the opportunity to be like, watch a horror movie. So let's start with the Oscar nomination list. I'm going to pull it up over here. Look at the screen. It's amazing. You can see everything that's going on now. I can see everything that's going on now. A little bit of a delay. Still trying to figure everything out. Cat's playing with the iPad on my lap, but let's go. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down each of these categories, and I'm gonna briefly tell you like who should win it right now based on the movies that I've seen. The goal is to watch all of these movies within the next 2 or 3 weeks before the Oscars come out. That way I'll have an actual list of who should win, and then I'm gonna tell you who actually should win. So people who maybe not have been nominated at all and what they should win. So let's start with actor in a leading role. We have Timothée Chalamet from Marty Supreme. We have Leonardo DiCaprio, One Battle After Another. Ethan Hawke in Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan in Sinners, and then Wagner Moura from The Secret Agent. The Secret Agent just recently came out, so let's talk about my first big gripe with the Oscars, and that's movies that are inaccessible. And I think the movie needs to be available on streaming services, available for rent, in a Redbox, on Netflix, mail the DVD to you, which I think that might actually still exist. I'm not sure if it does, like that'd be crazy, but I think there is an entity of Netflix that lets you mail in DVDs still. Chat can fact check me on that. Also, I know chat's excited for Love is Blind season 10 coming out in like 2 weeks and 10 days. So we'll talk about that a bunch too. But I think that the Oscars should be pushed back. The Oscars should be like in April, because that gives every movie that was released over the holiday period, right? Like the December 25th Christmas movie that comes out, everybody's in the theaters to see it. Marty Supreme. You know, if you're not a theater person like myself, then you're not going to obviously go and watch these movies, and you kind of have to wait for them to come on streaming services. I also have a really hard time renting movies, right? I feel like if I'm going to rent a movie for $20 or $24 on the video on demand, which is like that new kind of like middleman they've inserted, right? Like go straight to theater. And then at a theater, it comes to video on demand, which is like you can basically watch movies that are in theater right now from home, but it's like $20. And then you can just buy the DVD for $25 when it comes out. It's like, why would I not wait an extra 2 weeks and just buy the DVD as opposed to renting it one time? So all I'm going to say is I think the Oscars should be in April, so that gives everything a chance to have been in theater and come out. Because the timeline for the Oscars doesn't really matter. So that's my first take. So let's talk about the movies that I've seen from the actor in a leading role category. And let me tell you, actor in a leading role category, I learned my lesson. This is not a category where you go watch these movies. I would say if you want to watch Oscar movies, what you should be doing is you should be watching the movies that are the Best Picture nominations. Simply because, in Best Cinematography, anemone. Because if you watch for Best Actor or Best Actress, which I have made this mistake before, and I'm specifically talking to you, who's buying movies anymore? I have an absolutely delightful movie collection that you can check out. I'll post a picture of it. It's actually in the spreadsheet. You can the like spreadsheet. One over from the spreadsheet is all the movies that I own. This is actually a fun fact. Is that my wife? She always tries to win Christmas and she tries to win birthday presents. And she basically tries to win everything. I know I did nail Anemone the first time and boom, second time. And so this year for our anniversary, our delayed anniversary, she got me like cat guess who, which is just like pictures of random cats and then like dressed up in like just characters, like as guess who, and the monkey, best movie of 2025. And I loved it. I was like obsessed with it. She's like, I can't believe like this is what you like better than everything else that I got you. You loved the monkey Blu-ray and this cat thing. So yes, absolutely. But let's get back to the lesson that I learned. That lesson that I learned is that if you watch movies if you're trying to watch all the Oscar movies and you're like, let me watch these movies from actors in a leading role and actresses in a leading or supporting or a leading role and supporting role, all those things, you get some truly awful movies. There was a movie called Women Talking, right? Let me tell you, they literally talked the entire time. And it was such a weird movie. It was about an Amish community who was trying to, basically the Amish guys were like, or basically like taking advantage of like the women at night when they were sleeping, and they were trying to decide, all the women were deciding if they were going to leave or if they were going to stay. And the entire movie was essentially like those conversations. Like it's literally women talking. It's like The Long Walk, right? It's like a perfect name for that movie because that's all that's going on. So of these five, I've only seen one battle after another, Leo and Michael B. Jordan in Sinners. And look, I didn't like Sinners was fine. Sinners was like just slightly below average for me. Michael B. Jordan was really good in it. It's just not my favorite movie. So I would give it to Leo in one battle after another. But I haven't seen The Secret Agent, Blue Moon, or Marty Supreme. So Marty Supreme obviously being the big one. Netflix ended the DVD mail service in 2023. Wow. So that was, I'm way off base there. But 2023 is way later than people like understand, right? Like chat, come on, you got to give me a little credit there. That's kind of crazy. 2023, we thought it was long dead. All right, so now we're moving into actor in a supporting role. Benicio del Toro, One Battle for Another, seen it. Jacob Elordi, Frankenstein. You're just like Frankenstein, Victor. I think that's what he does the entire time, but it's cool. Delroy Lindo from Sinners, Sean Penn from One Battle After Another, and then Stellan Skarsgård from Sentimental Value. So I've actually seen 4 of those 5 movies. One Battle After Another, again, north of 8 on the spreadsheet. Like, good watch. I really enjoyed it. Frankenstein, I also really liked. I thought it was pretty cool. Delroy Lindo from Sinners, like he was a pretty cool character in that movie. Again, no issues with that. Sean Penn, One Battle for Another, was absolutely insane. He was crazy in that movie. I was kind of like, this is nuts. Like, and I even referenced him that he should get an Oscar nomination, if not win the Oscars for that role. And from what I've seen up there, nothing says that it should not be Sean Penn. So I still need to see Sentimental Value. It is on my list. It is a Best Picture nom. But for me, the actor in a supporting role should absolutely go to Sean Penn in One Battle After Another. It was just an insane character. He was better than Leo in that movie. So it'd be hard to give it to Leo for me. Like if Leo won and he didn't win, I'd be like, this is kind of crazy. Sean Penn, far superior in that movie than anybody else from those other ones. Benicio del Toro was really good though too. You know what it kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of a little bit of Traffic. There's all these different roles where all these individual actors like do just an outstanding job. And it just so happens Benicio del Toro was in another one of these. Okay, let's jump over to actress in a leading role. And this is where I got in trouble with Women Talking because I was just like, what am I going to watch? Like, let's watch this thing. And it was horrific. So all right, we have Jessie Buckley from Hamnet. We have Rose Byrne from If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, which is one of my next movies I'm going to watch. Kate Hudson from Song Sung Blue. Renee Renz, I should just not pronounce names, from Sentimental Value, and then Emma Stone from Begonia. And look, I really like Begonia. Begonia is the only one of those movies that I've seen, so obviously I'm going to give it to Emma Stone. But I mean, that movie was just a little bit out there, obviously, because all his movies are. But I think we're going to have some other ones, obviously challenging. But Emma Stone's only the one I've seen, so I got to give it to her. But Sentimental Value, I'm going to watch, and also Hamnet, and If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. So those are my next three probably I'm watching. Actress in a supporting role. Again, we have two from Sentimental Value. We have one from Weapons, which is kind of a weird decision. And then we have one from Sinners, and then we have one from One Battle After Another. So that's actress in a supporting role. And look, I think Amy Madigan from Weapons, like her character was just so weird. It didn't get enough. Better Than Leo is quite the statement from you. Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like Leo was good in it, but Leo's been better in other movies. And I think, I mean, again, chat, you can fact check me on this one. I think Leo's has not won. Has he won? I mean, I'm not even gonna try to make this statement here. How many Oscars has Leo won, and what roles has he won them for? I know he's lost for some pretty big ones. Oscar wins, Leo. Let's just pull this up right now and not rely on chat to do it. Won his first and only Oscar for Best Actor at the 88th Academy Awards for his role in The Revenant. And he is not the best in The Revenant. Like, he is so much better in all these other ones. So he was nominated in 2016. Let's see. So let's do a little deep dive on Leo. A little Leo section here. This will be exciting. All right, so best actor in supporting role for Gilbert Grape. I love him in The Aviator, Blood Diamond, probably not. Wolf of Wall Street, probably so. Picks up one for for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and then another one for One Battle After Another. So, yeah, one 6-time nominee, 1-time winner. So, I mean, is this another one you give it to Leo for? I don't know. Yeah, I don't think so. Amy Madigan was cool in this one. Okay, so if I'm going for actress in a supporting role here, I'm probably going to go for One Battle After Another. And let's move into animated feature film. Well, yeah, but actually, let's talk about animated feature film. Leo got a gift for The Revenant. Yeah. I mean, she should have won one for before. I mean, he was in so many other movies. Like, he didn't win one for Titanic? Was it nominated for Titanic? What? All right, animated feature film. All right, now look, this is normally most people be like, let's skip it. Well, let's talk about it. If you're a parent, you've got young kids. Look, you know you're going to be watching a lot of this crap. So let's talk about these movies in here. Emma, check the chat. Lol. Emma Stone won't win. She's won twice. Yeah, I mean, she should have. I mean, but she was just like, Begonia was so weird. It was so weird. But she's already done weird and won for weird, and I don't know if they want to give her like another one for that exact same thing. All right, animated feature film. Here are the ones I've seen. So we got Arco, we got Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelie, or the character of Rain in Zootopia 2. So let's be honest, this thing is going to come down to two movies. It's going to come down to K-pop Demon Hunters, and it's going to come down to Zootopia 2. Zootopia 2 is the largest grossing film worldwide, animated film worldwide ever. I don't know if that statement is true. I heard it on TV today, and I was like, is that true? So the question is, K-pop Demon Hunters or Zootopia 2? Chat, I know you're a little delayed, but what are we thinking? What are we thinking for this win here? Who wasn't nominated? Right, Leo wasn't nominated for Titanic? That's what I'm saying. It's like he wasn't even nominated for Titanic. Like, what other years who else was nominated in 90 or 98 or 99 when Titanic came out? So Kate Winslet was nominated, but Leo wasn't. That's kind of crazy. Is there some Leo hate? I heard a story about like after what seeing Gilbert Grape, like he was so good that when people met him, they were like, "Oh, I didn't know like he wasn't like that in real life." So like that's a pretty good acting. All right. So it looks like in the chat we have a unanimous consent for K-pop Demon Hunters. What do you think, Megs? Is it K-pop Demon Hunters or is it Zootopia 2? Now you saw Zootopia 2 twice in the theater, so do we have a little bit of a fanboy, a fangirl for Zootopia 2? I think so. The cat, I gotta get the cat in the correct spot. All right. For me, it's gotta be K-pop Demon Hunters. That movie was just so insane. Like what it did, it brought everybody in this world. Like that's yes, absolutely should be K-pop. All right, let's go to. We're gonna skip for animated short film. We're gonna skip for casting. Like come on, casting, come on. Cinematography. Okay, here we go. And you know what? Let me tell you right off the bat, I see a hole. Anemone. No nomination. Nominated 7 times, but won once for Kate Winslet. What'd she win for? Oh, did she win for that one, like Revolutionary Road or something? Or is that somebody else? I think Leah was in that one too. Okay. Let's talk about cinematography. Cinematography, we've got Frankenstein. We've got Marty Supreme, which is the one I haven't seen. We've got One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Train Dreams. Train Dreams snuck its way on there for that Best Picture nomination, and it was absolutely insane. It was just like the sound was really good, the shots were really cool. They're like nailing boots to the tree at one point, and like the trees growing, and like the leaves and stuff were growing over top of the boots, and it's just like the shooting of it was really cool. It kind of reminded me of Anemone as I was watching. I was like, wow, the cinematography is really good. And I really enjoy good cinematography. So I was a really big fan of the cinematography in that movie. But Frankenstein's going to be the real challenger for this one, because the shots in Frankenstein were just outstanding, especially when like they're in the tower. Sinners, the gunplay was fantastic, but I think for this one I would have to give it with I thought Train Dreams cinematography was just stunning, was just gorgeous. All right, let's skip costume design. Who gives a crap? Directing also like I mean, come on, what's the difference between directing and Best Picture? Like I don't know. Let's go documentary feature film. No, obviously it should be Poop Cruise. We haven't talked about Poop Cruise. I told my daughter about Poop Cruise today. We were going over to the West Bank, and there were 2 cruise ships, and she was like, "I think like a cruise ship seems pretty fun." And I'm like, "You think it's fun until you get on it, and then you realize it's not fun." And then there was this one cruise ship where the power went out, and they all had to like poop in red bags and pee in the shower, and there was no food. And she was like, "Yikes!" And I was like, yes, yikes. And she's like, well, why do the commercials look so fun? And I'm like, because they're trying to get you hooks that you like are like, hey, yeah, I want to go on a water slide and eat hamburgers that have been steaming next to the pool for hours on end, and then pay $75 for my endless soda cup, and then go see like a knockoff Cirque du Soleil show, and then all seems fun until you're on it. Okay, so documentary short film, we're not talking about it. Film editing, we can talk about film editing. Let's look at these. F1, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, Sinners. F1, not even close. F1, come on. If F1 was so good, it was up there instantly with the classics of Ford vs. Ferrari and Rush. This was an awesome car movie, probably like one of my favorite car movies. And it was one of the best movies of 2025. So yeah, absolutely. International feature film, didn't watch any of them. Live action short, nope. Makeup and hairstyling, nope, don't care about. Music and original score. All right, so we got Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. Honestly, for me, I thought the best original score and the best music was from Train Dreams. I just liked the sound of it, and it wasn't nominated for anything. So, oh wait, never mind. It was nominated for best original song. So Train Dreams, boom. Let's look at the Best Picture list. pee flowing down the walls. Yes, yeah. The poop cruise is like my absolute nightmare. I think we should sidebar this and just talk about why poop cruise would be my nightmare. One, you just absolutely have like no food situation like freaks me out. Like if we don't have power and you're giving me a sliced turkey, like what's the condition of this sliced turkey? Has it been refrigerated properly? I'm thinking no on this one. Okay, white bread, no thank you. I can't have that. I'll get the poopies. And well, what about like the water? Where are we getting water from? And then you got to poop in a shower and you got to pee in there everywhere. It's like, no, I'm good. So absolutely no to cruises. Absolutely no to poop cruise. And it's like back. Like the whole point of the poop cruise is like that ship is still sailing and still out there. Oh, got a bite from little Zizou. Maybe is this maybe I think this is the best. This is the best chat I've seen all night. If I wake up one day and I'm on a cruise, I know I've died and gone straight to hell. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, one time on a cruise and it was just like so it was like the trip before I went to dry dock and all they had was Indian food and I had to eat crepes for 7 days. Let me tell you, crepes are disgusting. It's so gross. It's like crepes with chocolate syrup. Every day for you is a poop cruise. Especially if you're in Seattle and you're watching Nosferatu, then it's definitely a poop cruise. All right, so let's talk about the Best Picture nominations. Begonia gets one. A weird movie, Begonia, that's all about basically like a guy and his cousin trying to like kidnap this person, thinking that she's an alien. F1. I've already talked about how much I love it. It's not going to win here. Frankenstein was good. It's Guillermo del Toro, straight to Netflix, but it's also not going to win. Haven't seen Hamnet, want to see it. Marty Supreme, haven't seen it. One Battle After Another could win. It's got the big name. It's got Paul Thomas Anderson. It's got the big actors. This one could easily take a win. It's also super political. It's really topical. This is just a movie where the Oscars can essentially like, you know, give it to One Battle After Another. All the statement, all they go up on the stage and everybody says something political. Like if that's what they want, that's what they'll do. That's what they'll get. So, One Battle After Another so far, yes. Haven't seen Secret Agent. Haven't seen Sentimental Value. Sinners again. I think it's overrated. I think it's way overrated. I just wasn't. I just thought it was an average movie, which is fine. Like it's a 6. The movie's completely fine. It's not anything. It's not any. You know. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's not anything special to me. I think the gunplay in it was just outstanding, like the best gunplay of 2025. I wish there was more of it, but it felt like two different movies. I've already talked about that. Like you get this whole vampire scene, then you have something else. I would have preferred either one of those two things. And once we throw in like the word horror, if it's not scary, then I immediately start to crap on it, and it's like not scary. So it's not a good horror movie. Not a good horror movie is like that. That's the way it is. Crepes are not disgusting. On a what is it? A Royal Caribbean in a Norwegian cruise. They're disgusting. Crepes are awful. And so for Sinners, I think that also too, like I've talked about this before, there was so much hype for it. Like it was like so good. It was it's fine. Like it's fine. It shouldn't win Best Picture. But let's talk about that last movie, which is Train Dreams. And Train Dreams was like I just did a review for it. It's coming out, I think tomorrow. Train Dreams, I like the one note that I have, and I'm not sure if you can see like my adorable little Zizi right here. Sweaty crepes are disgusting. This is coming from a person who made their own first crepe in Paris, which is a pretty sick thing to be able to say, right? Like think about that. Like, have you had a crepe before? Yeah, I was in Paris, and after I had like this lovely little dinner, I popped behind the stand and I made a crepe with the Parisian dude, and bam. Crepes in Paris when you're overweight and the mozzarella you make it yourself. Yeah, effing bomb. Yep. That's pretty sweet experience. I mean also too, like blowing up a bathroom in the Louvre, pretty sick, right? Like just people being like, what is going on? Why is this guy in there forever? And you're like, Poop dreams. All right, let's talk about train dreams though. Um, yeah, it is on the way. I hit it too. Let's talk about train dreams though, because train dreams I just made a review for, and like the big note that I have, and it's gonna immediately rule out like a lot of people is that like not a lot actually happens in train dreams in terms of like the story. And right there, that would be enough for a lot of people to be like, you know what, I'm out. I'm not going to watch it. But that's not a bad thing for this movie. It's just one guy, like one regular guy's life from like not start, but from like is like I don't know, like you know how it is like 100 years ago. You're like, how old are you? But from like his early 20s through late 20s through the rest of his life, and like the impact that like one guy like actually has, like it's deep. It's it's like I don't know. I found it kind of profound. It's like it kind of reminds me of there's like this like this YouTube video of this guy and he's like just like outside and he's like all sad. He's like looking at a spool and he's like when I bought this, I was like young and the spool was big and now like there's like no spool left and I'm like old. And so you're like, what? But like for a lot of people like hits, you're like, oh man, like yeah, that spool of thread is like it's like my bag of taffy. Um, but not a ton happens. But it's just it has the sound of like I spent the entire time trying to figure out like the sound of it because it's got like this cool sound that plays throughout the movie. It just kind of like carries you from like scene to scene at like a really slow pace. And it reminds me a lot of Arrival in terms of the music and of the sound. So where would I go with Best Picture right now? F1. I mean, F1's the highest rated movie on my spreadsheet out of these movies. I'm like, all I'm saying is like, shouldn't the Best Picture actually be the Best Picture? So for me, F1 of these movies should win because it's the highest rating. Will it win? Obviously not. So if I had to like choose one of these other ones, I'd probably choose one battle after another. But I did really enjoy Train Dreams, and it's a really Oscar-y type movie. But what's crazy about Train Dreams for me is that it didn't pick up any other nominations for like actor. Like Joel Edgerton was great in the movie, but no nomination. Production design, no. Sound, like I'm not even gonna have a discussion on this one. F1. Don't talk to me about sound. F1 wins. Doesn't matter what it goes up against. The sound in that movie was outstanding. F1 wins. Visual effects. This is where the movies get super weird. We're looking at Avatar. We're looking at F1, Jurassic World Rebirth, The Lost Bus, Sinners. This is I think for visual effects is kind of what I hope the Oscars would be more like. Right? Like movies that like more people are gonna see and not trying to be too pretentious. So I've seen all of these except for Avatar because I'm not sitting through a 3.5 hour movie in the theater. F1 has the best visual effects for sure. I mean, you feel like you're in a race car. You combine that with the amazing sound. F1 wins this one. Writing, nope. Writing, nope. And that wraps up our Oscar discussion. Boom. Okay. So, 30 minutes to discuss the Oscars, which is probably too much, but like, let's be honest. Like, I was having a really good conversation for once with my wife today. And we started talking about how, yeah, absolutely not for the Oscar nomination, Oscar win for F1. The dialogue in F1 wasn't very good. The story in F1 wasn't very good. Like, it wasn't really like believable. If you watch F1, you're like, none of this could actually happen, but a lot of the graphics and effects were really cool. And Brad Pitt was too old. I feel like there's certain things you can't say, like Brad Pitt being too old, Leo was too old, but yeah, I did feel like Brad Pitt was maybe a little bit too old for that role. I definitely felt like Leo was definitely too old for that role in Killers of the Flower Moon. He was supposed to be like 20, but he was like, you know, however old he is at the start. Like, wait, this guy says he's 22, but he's like 60. Like, this is kind of crazy. Okay. So, conversation we were having about the Oscars was, I asked my wife, like, like how, she's like, I've only seen one of the 10 Oscar nominations for Best Picture. And I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy. Like only one. Then we started talking about like how many movies does she like watch, but still hot. How many movies do you watch a year? And she's like, besides what I watch with like our daughter, she probably watches like a movie every other month, but like will like runs through TV shows. And for me, I probably watch, it's gonna be crazy, I probably watch anywhere between 150 to 250 movies a year. But what if for me, what the Oscars should be is we should be talking about like those movies that are more of the most entertaining movies and less of like the deeper movies. Like it doesn't matter if it's deep if it's not entertaining. And that's something I think a lot of these movies struggle with, is they try to give them meaning, but they're like not entertaining, or they don't achieve what they're trying to achieve, which is like why the spreadsheet's so amazing. So I would like to see the Oscars be more like movies like for the population that everybody's watching. And that's what my wife said. She was like, the Oscars used to be all the movies that everybody went to the theaters to see, like all those huge movies. And now it's not. And like, she's right. It's not. So before the Oscars comes out, I will make my own categories, and I will make my own nominations, and I will choose my own winners. And I'll do that actually right after the Oscars. So we'll say, here's the actual, and here's what it should have been according to the guru that is the movie spreadsheet. Okay, and I'll try to have Mr. Bigglesworth right here with me. Watched one movie in the past year, Conjuring 4. But how was Conjuring 4? Did you like that, chat? On an airplane? You ever get like on an airplane, right? And you're like watching something, and you're like, you got it on your little screen, right? And then you're kind of like looking around, and then like behind you, like look behind you, right? And then you're like checking behind you, and there's like a lady, and she's just like staring at you. She's just like, and then you're like, oh God. And then, but you don't know like what's going to happen on the screen. And then all of a sudden it'll be like something crazy. And you're like, oh God. And then you have to like shield it from people. Like, you don't want people thinking like something's wrong with you. So you got to like, blocked off, like looking around, like, when is this thing going to be over? Then you're trying to like fast forward it. Yeah. I thought The Conjuring 4 was awesome. I love watching a movie on an airplane. I love when we go international. I struggle internationally because I don't sleep on planes or like well at all. I don't sleep anywhere well at all, let's be honest. Yeah. They're like, do you want peanuts or do you want pretzels? And you're like, ah. and then they're judging you. They're like, what's it? Oh, she's sick. She's watching Conjuring 4. Oh, with her kids nearby. Oh my God. What a horrible mom. This is crazy. But international flights, you can get all those ones that are in between theater and streaming. So you're just rattling them all off. So yes. Now, let's chat about something else. Let's chat about a conversation. Yeah, like the mirror is breaking. So I've got a great topic here. This has happened a couple times before, right? I have people be like, "Hey, I want to get into." I'm kind of expanding this a little bit. People can be like, I've had people before. I used to teach at a high school, and I taught this class called History Through Film, and basically the whole idea was that like we would replace textbooks, because like who likes to read, with movies to like learn about events, and then do a little bit of research. Be like, okay, that wasn't really true, or that like was kind of true, or like whatever it may be. And a lot of kids took the class because I was a coach and it was an easy A. But a lot of kids like took the class because they love movies. And then we had a third portion, probably the biggest portion, took the class because like they don't watch movies and they want to watch more movies. and they don't know where to start, which is kind of like it's a crazy thing to think about it, but it actually makes a ton of sense, right? Like if you want to watch movies, like where do you start? Like what do you watch? And so usually I'm like, watch this or watch that. I'm usually like, hey, like, you should probably watch The Godfather. You should probably watch like, if you want to see all the classic, you should probably watch like 2001: A Space Odyssey. You should probably watch like The Shining if you like horror movies. So I kind of give them like a range. And these are the movies we're watching in class, but I kind of give them like this range. But then I'll have kids be like, I want to watch like more modern stuff. And that's where the conversation gets really interesting. And so I had this conversation with somebody the other day who was like, if you given the opportunity to watch a horror movie with somebody who doesn't watch horror movies, what horror movie are you choosing? Like if you get one chance, like if my wife's like, hey, my bad, I was out all night last night. I came back, I slept in late, I couldn't watch the kids, whatever. I will watch a horror movie with you. What do I choose? Because I need it to be so horrifying that they're like, whoa, right? What are you choosing? It's a frequent conversation that I that I have with my sister. And so what I've ultimately, yes, yeah, for sure, you're trying to scare the crap out of them. And this backfired one time for me with my wife. I was like, will you please watch The Conjuring? Oh no, I have the plague. Will you please watch The Conjuring? And she was like, yes. Like we were dating, so she had to be cool about it. And I was like, okay, here we go. And the lady's like in the background. She's like clapping. Right? I'm terrified. And my wife was just like laughing. Like it's like humorous to her. She's like, this is hilarious. And I'm like, oh, not only have I blown my opportunity, I've also ruined this movie for myself, because the fact that somebody can think of The Conjuring as scary, as not scary, as humorous, devastating to me. So, chat. No, I'm having a hard time with, I need aspirate. I'm having a hard time with water. Like if I had some warm water, that would be delightful, because I'm trying to hit an hour today. 22 minutes to an hour. I can easily talk about movies for an hour, but my voice is struggling. Okay, I really like Insidious as a reference. You know, the devil's in the background, like, sharpening. You're like, what is going on? This is absolutely terrifying. That's like when you made me watch The Babadook, and I was like, lol, no. So you aspirated. Wait, what's aspirated? The Babadook? I think Barbarian's a good one. If you haven't seen Barbarian, Hallie, definitely watch that. Reasonable Valid Action might be broken in Barbarian. I think it is broken in Barbarian. Let me ask this question. Do they ever set up a plot like in a horror movie where you're like, Obviously they set up plots where you're like, not realistic, never going to happen. But sometimes you're like, I know it's a really bad idea, but I think I'm doing that. I think I would actually perform that action. I did not get liquid in my lungs. No. Barbarians, when a girl goes to an Airbnb and like the guy that owns it shows up and then she's trying to decide like, do I let him like in or not? He owns it. Yes. And there's the tunnel in the basement. Are you going in the tunnel in the basement? Like even a little bit, like a little bit in, like slightly in. Look at this delivery. Oh yeah, thank you. It's microwaved. It's delightful. Now I'm gonna have to pee 65 times tonight. Chat, what do you think? Heck no. Like not even a little bit, Hallie. Like you're not going to the basement a little bit. You're not being like, let me just like real quick, just like let me just look. Like come on, just a little bit. I think we go in there, Hallie. I think you're wrong. I think we go down there and we're like, what is this? And I think we're like, look, we've got to go down there. We've got to just look, just like a little bit. I'm obviously the one going in. You're not going in. Yeah, come on. You know you're going in. When you come visit me, I'm gonna try to recreate the situation. Be like, hey, let's just go check it out and see if you do. Then when you do, I'm be like, you idiot, I knew you would do this, which is why it is a reasonable, valid action. I think Barbarian's a good shout. I think Insidious is a good call. I think Conjuring is. I always thought The Conjuring was terrifying. My wife blew that one for me, so now I'm not sure if I would waste one horror movie a year on The Conjuring. Yeah, okay. I'm not going if you are. Yeah, like we're going. Like, come on, like you know this. We're going in a little bit. We're gonna go in the tunnel a little bit. And be like, now if I see like a room with like some blood on it, like we're out. I'm not going any farther than that. I'm not going. Now look, I'm lightning fast, so I'm not going so far in the tunnel I can't sprint back, and I need somebody guarding the entrance of the tunnel. Like I gotta make sure the entrance is secure because if that door closes and I'm in the tunnel. If you go, I go. I won't stay behind. Yeah, I think so too. Okay, so I think we've hit. Any other questions, chat, about horror movies and like what we make our partners watch? Like, here's a question for you: if you're watching a horror movie that you've seen, and you know something scary is happening, you gotta do like the jump, right? Like you gotta do the extra scare for them, right? My sister and I used to terrify. We used to scare the crap out of our dad. Like really, really. Now looking back on it, it was so bad. How bad that we scared him. We would watch these insane. You know what? I'm thinking Strangers. It's just a home invasion movie, right? Definitely not the new Strangers. The new Strangers are awful. Like the original Strangers. That would be a maybe for me. I would go monstery. I'd go more scary monstery than Strangers. Yeah, you gotta set them up. You get a kid hiding in the closet for like 2 hours. You're like, hey, listen, you're being here for 2 hours, but it'll be worth it. You're gonna see dad poop his pants. But our parents had to think that we were messed up because we'd watch these horrific movies that were just insane. And then like let me paint a picture of our childhood. Okay. We just watched When Darkness Falls. When Darkness Falls is about a tooth fairy. is about the tooth fairy. And it's about that when you lose your last tooth, she comes. And if you peek, it's over for you. And you're like, okay, this movie is so stupid. It's gonna be the dumbest movie ever. Then like 2 minutes in, you're like, and the tooth fairy. I mean, the opening scene, right? It's like kind of like wobbling out his tooth. You're like, oh my God, like what? Leave it alone. It'll come on, it comes out. He's like rips it out, puts it on the other thing. You're like, disgusting. 7's not scary. 7's not scary at all. Okay, listen. So rips the tooth out, puts it on the table. Then night comes, and it's like, and the kid's like under the sheets, right? Scariest thing ever. Like the two scary scenes for me that always stay on my mind. You can't pull the covers up, man. Like, listen to me. You cannot pull the covers up, because if you pull the covers up, then when you pull them down, what do we think is going to happen, right? Object permanence, okay? Can't pull the covers up. So he pulls the covers up, pulls it down. Tooth fairy right there in his face. You're like, right? So anyways, so I mean, the rest of the movie sucks. Opening is outstanding. So that night, parents go to bed. My sister and I are like, hey, let's terrify let's scare them. Let's scare them really bad. So we take this paper plate. We get a paper plate, right? Like one of the really cheap ones, right? Like the little like folds on the edges, not the name brand. We like poke little holes in it, right? And then like my sister puts it on her face, and then she like puts a hood up over top of it. And then I like pick her up, and my dad's like sleeping on the side, right? I'm not sleeping on the side. He's like laying there, and I pick her up, but put her over top of him, and he just absolutely loses it. And it was was that a good time. Probably could have killed him. Like, let's be totally honest. Probably could have killed him. It was an outstanding jump scare. God, childhood memories. That one's really good. Now, like the other one in this movie, also, like I don't know why, but this movie changed the location of where I put my bed until I was 30 and met my wife, which was Ernest Scared Stupid. And there's a girl who like looks on her bed. She's like, oh, I think there's something in my bed. Let me look on my bed. She looks on her bed. And then guess what? She rolls back into bed, and there's a troll next to her. And you're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So from that point on, guess what? Bed goes against the wall. You know why? This guy, troll's not waking up next to me when I check under the bed. Okay? No, sir. I check under the bed. The other side, secure. It's like having a base against a mountain. Boom. I think I should also I need to reference one more scare, because my sister and I, we love scares. I'm not sure if I told the story before, but my wife had a 40th birthday trip to France, and my wife was like, you can invite a friend, you can invite somebody. I'm like, best friend time, my sister, let's go. So we go to France. And we're like staying at this like little nice place, and we find like this little like crappy TV in this back nook, and we get Netflix on it, and it's like Netflix like France, which is all this weird crap. And so we're just in this back room, and we're doing like curls with these 5-pound weights, just watching these random random horror movies in this back room. As I think people watch by, be like, what? People come in like, oh hey, what do you want? And it'd be like, what is this? Okay, we're leaving. We're just cranking out curls, eating Haribo. Great time as well. But I think I need to reference probably the best scare. Now, I love scaring people, right? Like I shouldn't, but I love to scare people. My sisters had the best scare ever. And that was, it had to be like in the early 90s when Doom was out on PC. And there's a part where you log into the game, and then it's like you log into the game and you know what's coming, and then just before the game starts, it's like, "Argh," like that's not like a monster. That's not like a monster noise. And my sister is like, she's like tiny. She's like hiding behind like the desk, right? And there's like the computer right there. My dad's right there. I getting ready to play Doom, and then boom, she jumps out just at the exact same time that they're like bam, like the monster's like going, ah, she jumps out, like, ah, and my dad's like, ah. Awesome. Just love a good jump scare. Love a good scare. So I think we've covered horror movies. Let's talk about the movies that I've watched this week. Go through each of those real fast, let you know if it's worth your time. The big movie that I watched this week though is The Brutalist. The Brutalist is 3 hours and 30 minutes long. It won a bunch of awards last year. I thought, it was solid, but for a movie that's that long about, brutalism or like architecture, I just had so many questions left unanswered and just about the entire topic. And then on top of it, like just like the story with like the drugs and like just like the nudity, I was like, what is going on with this movie? We can cut an hour out of this movie and it becomes a lot more digestible for a lot of people. So that's kind of my take on The Brutalist. I mean, it was good. I think it was slightly above average, so like north of 6, but nothing in the 7, 8, 9s. That was The Brutalist. I also watched People We Meet on Vacation. This movie was awful. This movie was so bad because it's a rom-com that does nothing different. It takes no risks at all. It's like cliche, kiss in the rain, all that crap. Not good. And the lead actor felt like a serial killer to me. I was like, is this guy a serial killer? Chemistry, 0. Lead actor, off. And the girl was just like so bubbly all the time. You're like, what is happening? People Meeting Vacation. Pass. Not a good rom-com. Let's talk about probably the weirdest movie that I watched this week, which was Eden. So I watched Eden right after Train Dreams. Is that about the book? It is about the book. Have you read the book? Dude, these guys know authors. Is the Emily Henry? Sure. It wasn't good. And like they didn't meet any people on vacation. Terrible name for a movie or a book. Who cares? So skip that one. Let's talk about the movie that's got the most views of my shorts so far in the last like week, which is Regretting You. And this is a Colleen Hoover book. Booyah. I remembered it. Same person that wrote It Ends With Us. New movie. I saw the trailer for this. I saw the trailer for this movie in the theater and I was like, no. A guy and a girl, they like each other or liked each other at one point or are right for each other at one point. They're each. The guy's married to the girl's sister. The girl is married to the guy's best friend. They die in a car accident. Turns out they're having an affair. Life turned upside down. Oh my God. What happens? So stupid. So stupid. So bad. It's just on par for Colleen Hoover adapted. Now, look, I'm not going to say the books are bad. It'd be way out of my depth. But the movie is awful. Like, these movies are awful, but like people are watching them, so they'll keep making them. What else I watched? Running Man, not better than the original. 2 hours, 50 minutes long. Too long. It's like the tone of it's all over the place. It's a plot that just goes over and over again, just continues to just repeat and repeat and repeat. Problem solve, problem solve, problem solve, all the way till we get to the end. Train Dreams, Already discussed it. Eden. Jude Law. Sydney Sweeney. Jessica Kirby. Weird. And it's a true story. And I think this movie, had it been given to a different director, it's a Ron Howard movie, it would have been something a lot more special than what it was. I also watched this on the tails of having watched Train Dreams. So this movie is not deep, Eden, as Train Dreams was deep. I'm running out of time. Until you barf after you're done with this. I'm going to cough a ton after this. I'm almost done. What I hate about movies like Eden, from a teaching perspective, is that I would never show this movie because of the random nudity that added nothing to this movie. Jude Law, full frontal nudity. Weird. Why? To show you they're on a remote island? Not necessary. But they have like the actual clips of this island. Like the whole movie's about like this guy, this psychologist, I believe he is, or philosopher maybe, something like that, maybe both. Doctor, I know he's a doctor. Goes to this island off the coast of the Galapagos to create like his own like new way of life, and then people like show up there, and then like stuff happens, and it opens with like, this is the account of the survivors, inspired by a true story. Movie starts. And you're like, oh, damn, okay, here we go. I guess some people are going to die on this island. Like, this is kind of crazy. Yeah, Jude Law, full nude. You're like, why? Why is this here? What is this at? Anyways, and then at the end of the movie, they have like the actual footage. I think it could have been like spliced in a little bit cooler, but that's Eden. You can check it out if you want to. It's like a light thriller. I think it's like just below average for me. So it's like in the 5s, which is like an okay movie. So I think if the expectation's there for it to be a 5, you'll be fine having watched it. And finally, that is it. I've done it. I've talked about everything I want to talk about. I have hit 58 minutes. So I will not be back next Sunday night because it's the Super Bowl. Obviously, we got to watch the Super Bowl and continue to check out the movie spreadsheet for all of the shorts. Remember, the shorts are designed to help you choose movies that are going to be worth your time. There are so many streaming services out there. They're putting out so many movies. There's some really good ones that a lot of people aren't talking about it. There's a lot of bad ones. The shorts are spoiler free, and they basically tell you if the movie is going to be what you're looking for or not. I'm going to have like a trivia question in there for you, as well as some like kind of poster games to identify what movie it is. That's it.